trying. Whoa, I am washed out. There we go. Hey! Get the font. Hey! What's up, everybody? Getting my camera loaded up here. Ah, there we go. Now we're talking. Now we are talking. I wonder, let me know, here, let me do this real quick. How does this video quality look, or picture? I wonder if these lights do anything. Because one of two things are gonna, well, I know one thing's gonna happen, it's just gonna make it hotter in here, but it looks exactly the same, doesn't it? Literally no difference. Well, they're on now. James and Tom, what's happening? Can you guys see me out there in the YouTube world? Yeah, you can. Okay. Yeah, doesn't sound too bad. Jesse! Can everybody see and hear me okay? It's showing up good for me. Let's see, what are my levels looking like? Awesome. I think I gotta lower this neck pickup some more. There's quite a bit of a shift. If you listen to the first one, it's a pretty significant difference in output. Alex and Joe, woo! Yo, it's becoming a straight up party in here. 1 minute. Oh, that's why. My wife's been in here messing with stuff. I love the neck pickup on this guitar so much. Anyone out there with some new gear to talk about? Two P90 guitars, a Fender thin line, and an Epiphone. Ooh, nice. I'd like to get a thin line at some point. I think after I did that video about tellies, where I was kind of learning about the history of tellies and all that stuff, I was like, you know, I've never thought about owning a thin line, but it would have to sound great. I posted a picture of these guys on Instagram because basically this year my goal is I want to you know, starting another band, like no kind of like touring, anything like that, just for fun band. But I think this is going to be one of my main guitars, and I'll probably tell the story again on the main live stream. But basically, what kind of like, well, I've been wanting to get back into a band again, anyways. But like the other day, I was just thinking, I was looking at the guitar. I was like, so you can see the buckle rash, and see there's cracks on it. It's hard to see it on the camera. Cracks and some greening. Like I said, the headstock's pretty beat up. And I was like, you know, this was someone's gigging guitar. And you know, I got this guitar because it was, you know, it's an 89er just like me. And I was like, you know what? I should put some miles on this thing as well. You know, to really cement it. The KM will pretty much always stay home. I don't want to take it out, and it's just too heavy. But this one's probably like 9 or 10 pounds. Still heavy, but not like that KM. First real guitar I got it's cheap under. Oh, nice, dude. I love Kelly's. Excuse me, I love Kelly's. There's a I like that. You know, like a hollow body or, you know, semi-hollow or something like that. How you can just basically play them unplugged. This guitar is surprisingly loud unplugged. Like the KM, I think it's so dense. It's not like super loud unplugged. But this one, and this is before they chambered, so it's not chambered. It's just loud. But yeah, I'm gonna do a video. Like, you know, what guitar do you need to have or should have or whatever, and it's gonna be a Tele versus a Les Paul, but it's gonna be the P90 Les Paul, because I feel like that's way more fair of a match versus you know, a humbucker driven Les Paul. That's kind of, to me, one-sided. The humbucker's usually gonna win because it's gonna sound so much thicker. Alex, what was the new guitar that you just got? Man, if you're still here. I found on this guitar, the sweet spot is if I have my tone rolled all the way up. A little bit too bright, so I just roll the tone down. It might not pick up through the speaker, but it's pretty noticeable in person. The blue Tele's right here. I just used it in my Keith Richards video, so I'm leaving that one tuned to open G. Oh yeah, let's see it on there. It has a bit of an. Oh, sorry, I was reading the wrong comment. But yeah, I've played guitar acoustically downstairs earlier today, but I haven't played plugged in yet. Nice, that's awesome. How close to intimate sound I can get. That's really interesting. I'd be curious to know how that goes for you, Joe. I had like an an acoustic I bought for like 50 bucks. I ended up ruining it, but I kept it in the trunk of my car. Like when I, worked, I was working at Sam's Club years ago, and I would just go out there on my lunch breaks and, eat a piece of pizza or something like that and just play guitar. Yeah, I like my Amazon guitar, but it was terrible. Oh, neck dive while standing, so I bought the Kelly. And it's even worse. I've never played a Kelly standing up, so I'm surprised that it has such neck dive. Squire Strat soon, too. Ooh, yeah. I'll tell you what, man, if you can find a classic vibe, Jesse, those are the Strat, or the Squires that have impressed me since day one when I played them. They did have a heavy lacquer on the back of the neck, but my buddy had one, and he just sanded the lacquer off, and it was amazing. Yeah, those were some of the most impressive guitars ever. You know what's funny is, I'm sure you guys might already know it, but the story of the Squire guitar, because eventually Fender was having guitars made in Japan, so I don't know if there was ever any release to the public, but that was where the Squire name started, and basically the Japanese builders made them so good that Fender was like, these are better than what, I don't know if they were better, but they're as good as what we're doing over here. So they ended up not calling those Squires. Those just became, MIJ Fenders. I like Class 5. Yeah, the Class 5s are great. But yeah, those became MIJ Fenders. And then later, of course, Squire got introduced. But yeah, it was pretty funny. That was, the Japanese ones were supposed to be Squires, but they made them too good. Don't you hate when that happens, when they just make something too good? Joe, do you know, or anyone know, do they still make classic vibes? Is that still a thing, or did they get rid of them? It seems like something I would imagine Fender getting rid of just because they were too good. Yeah, I think, the only issue you might run into with the Squire is probably going to be, like you said, the hardware a little bit. You might need to upgrade the tuners if it's not staying in tune very well. But other than that, they still make classic vibes. Nice. I did not know that. But yeah, you might have to just, maybe replace the hardware on, the tuning pegs. I shouldn't say all the hardware, just the tuner pegs. Go. Yeah, if they still make them, I'm telling you, try one of those. They're very impressive. The only thing to watch out with those is if they've raised the price on them. Sometimes if you surf the net, you could get like a Mexi Strat for the same price if you can find a sweet deal. You guys always get the warm-up version. And one thing I was thinking about doing, I posted about it, but I was trying to think of like the exact way to do it, how basically you guys will pick out the new riffs for me to learn each week for the live streams. And I was thinking what we'll do is we'll have like an artist. That way it's not like a crazy array of it, and I'll only probably be able to pick 4 or 5 from it, but it'll be like AC/DC this week, or whatever artist we can think of. It could be Dragon Force. Please don't let it be Dragon Force. An old Tex-Mex Strat is just what I want, honestly. I'm telling you, man, look online. I remember you can find them used for good deals. My buddy, Steve from Boston, I'm sure you guys watch him. He got one, it was years ago, probably maybe 2 years ago. But he got it for like $300 or something like that. Jason Wade up in this hizzy. Hey, everybody. You're late. No. Mr. Jason, I just gave everyone 2 free Les Pauls. You're just late. Sorry, man. They're gone now. I'm doing good. How are you doing, Jason? Oh, you know what? I forgot. That was at the 3 o'clock show, not the 3:30 show. All you guys, you didn't get the email? I sent out an email saying I was giving away Les Pauls at the 3 o'clock show. No one showed up. I was really surprised because I thought it was a pretty sweet, sweet gig, but good. Nice. Thank you, Jason. I was just telling the guys, one of my big goals now before the end of the year is to start another band up, and I want to. This is going to be essentially my main guitar. It's going to be this, and then whenever I get the Friedman Vintage S, whenever it's done, I think those two will be the guitars that I'll use, pretty much full time. Owned any other crazy shaped guitars like V Explorer? I owned a Randy Rhoads offset Jackson V when I was a kid, and I've probably been playing like a year, and I wanted a guitar with a whammy bar. I wanted a V, and I basically spent like a year before I sold it to get. What did I get? I remember selling it, but I don't remember what for. Can't remember. That thing was a pain to haul around, and you have to basically sit like this, which was like super weird for me. I mean, I can do it, but I prefer to sit like this, which is probably not the best way to sit for your back, but. Loving that new Charvel life. Just not sending notification. So the new Charvel is treating you good. Well, that's fantastic. What kind did you get again, Jason? You said, but I'm trying to remember. But yeah, that's the craziest shape I've ever owned is that V. But everything else is pretty traditional. I don't get too crazy over here. San Dimas, that's right. That's awesome. I love the San Dimas. I like the San Dimas more than the SoCal. And that's probably because, Warren DeMartini is the guy who made me fall in love with Charvels. I got Kelly because I thought it makes you play like Marty, but Well, the right one because I can't play like him. Marty's one of the craziest guitar players. Yeah, now the SD1, is that the hum single hum, or is it still just two humbuckers? There was one Sandimas that had the middle pickup in it. Can't remember which one it was. Two hum, okay. Oh, it has a push-pull. That's nice. King this week, a Sir Mateus Asado. Ooh. So the Mateus Asado is the shell pink one, right? Oh, Anna Ian Thor. Dude, Joe, you are killing me. I would love to have one of those. I assume it's like the Jazzmaster. Because I think he has a signature like S-type, but then he also has that. It's basically the Jazzmaster or Mustang. I get those two mixed up. But he has that one with him in that green. Oh, I can't wait to see those. Hurts my yeah, I don't know how Marty like picks like this. Yeah. Oh, Joe, I would love to see your whole guitar collection. You have the sickest guitars, man. I can't wait to get that vintage S. You know, I think it'll be like the perfect S type. Oh, you got the antique burst. Oh, that's really cool. Dude, I'm telling you, man, you gotta try one. And you know, I feel bad because I talk about them so much, but it's like there's no kind of sponsorship, no kind of endorsement, none of that with them. It's just I'm like head over heels about those guitars because they're so good. That vintage tee, man, I'm telling you, I finally had to like admit it. I was like, it's right there with my KM Les Paul. I'm like, they're even. The KM is you know, they're now tied for number one. It's just kind of like if there's one guitar, or if I could take two guitars, you know, with me, I'm like that. And I would take the vintage T as the live guitar, but I don't want two guitars with P90s. So I figured taking the vintage S, which would be hum single single, and then this will be my P90 guitar because I want to play with this. I've never played live. In all the years that I've played guitar, I've never played live with a Les Paul once. And I'm like, I need to have a Les Paul on stage. Did you actually buy your Kim from probably? No, I did not. We bought that from a store in Indiana. So we actually drove over there. I have to take my Cronus as one of my choices. You know what? Yeah, I think the Cronus would be my alternate for this. I have used my Cronus live, and I love it because it's a bigger guitar, and I'm just, like I said, I'm 6'2", so most guitars kind of look like, I think a Les Paul when I stand up can look kind of small, but yeah, the Cronus would definitely be, you know, on the list of like gig with it. But no, I bought the KM, so it was a funny story because this was 4 or 5 years ago now when I bought it. I had just played a Les Paul at our local shop. I'll tell the story quick, and then I gotta get something to drink and hop over to the other stream. But anyways, I tried all these Les Pauls. I didn't like any of them, and a Les Paul came into the local shop here, and it was actually a 60s, surprisingly with a smaller neck that I liked. And I played it, and I loved it, and I decided that I was gonna go in and buy the guitar. It came in used, and I went into the store, and they're like, dude, it sold like an hour ago. I was like, no, I finally found one I liked. I was gonna get it. It's actually, the guitar has made a trip, and one of my buddies owns it now, and I'm always like, dude, if you ever sell that guitar, I ain't selling this guitar. I'm like, but if you ever do. And then I like posted it on Facebook. I was like, you know, it's time to get a Les Paul. And my wife just happened to find, like, Guitar Center used in Indiana just listed, I believe it was that day, the KM Les Paul. And she was like, well, here's this one, because she was like, you know, if you're going to get a Les Paul, get an old one. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And that one was like, it was right before the kind of the vintage market has started to recover. So the price was like, you know, way, like I said, that right now they're going for like $4,000, which that's, you know, nowhere near what we paid for it. And we were like, all right. And we looked it up, and we were like, I don't know what a KM is. And we just called them and asked if we could come over. It's, you know, about a 3-hour drive for us. If we could just come over and try it, if they would hold it for us. And they're like, well, you got to put like $100 deposit on it. And I was like, okay. And they're like, and if you don't want it, we'll just give it back to you once you get here. I was like, that's totally fine. So we did that, drove over, and I remember he took it out of the case. And I was like, whew. And the guy was like, he's like, yeah, he said, I think if you don't get it, that one guy who works there is like, been thinking about it, because a collector had it, and then he unfortunately passed away, and his wife, you know, brought in like 40 guitars. There was a wine red 70s Les Paul there too, and they're like, little, but this is the one that we've all been talking about. And as soon as I grabbed it and played it, I was like, all right, I'll take it. And then we had issues with our bank because it was declining my card, because it was like, hey, someone's in Indiana trying to use your card to buy this you know, guitar. And we're like, no. So I'm like on the phone on a weekend, like trying to get a hold of Chase and all that stuff. But that's the story. So, and ever since then, you know, it became my number one that day. And I've loved it ever since. So, I'm going to bounce on off here, guys. Oh, thank you, Jason. And I'll see you guys over there. If you don't mind, I'll be a couple minutes late over there. If one of you doesn't mind messaging when you get over there, and just tell him that Robert's slacking and being late, and he needs coffee because he needs caffeine. And I will see you guys over there in just a few minutes. So, later, homizzles. Bye, guys.